You just might want to be heard on that question.
Your Honor, I believe in the pattern instruction, there's a footnote in the acting in concert instruction. It says that the person can either be actually or constructively present, and in the footnote it defines a person is constructively present when he is close enough to the scene to render assistance to the perpetrator or is standing by to help the perpetrator. So we would ask for the language of that footnote to be supplied to the jury.
Let me see what.
I can print this out.
Can you send it to the clerk and let her print it?
Yes. Jamie, did you get it? Here's the pattern instruction.
I propose to give the following instruction in response to the question. To be guilty by acting in concert, all perpetrators must be actually or constructively present. A person is constructively present when he or she is close enough to the scene to render assistance to the other perpetrator to carry out the crime. Each must be actively assisting the other to cause the crime to occur. The legal principle of acting in concert is one in which there are at least two principal perpetrators, and they're equally responsible because they are committing a crime with a joint purpose and joint intent to cause that crime to occur. I have not instructed on aiding and abetting. This instruction is on acting in concert with Grant Hayes and Amanda Hayes as both principal perpetrators in the commission of this crime. As such, under this legal theory, both must be actually or constructively present, and constructively present would mean that he or she is close enough to the scene to render assistance to the other perpetrator to carry out the crime, and each must be actively assisting the other to cause the crime to occur. All right. You want to be heard further?
Language of actively assisting the other to make the crime occur, but we don't ask to be heard further.
Well, one can actively assist by being a lookout. Okay. But one has to actively assist to be a perpetrator of a crime. Mere presence standing alone without the intent to assist in some way is insufficient to constitute evidence of acting in concert.
In response, Your Honor, I would say that the questions about what is the definition of each is present. And the answer to that question, I would argue the court is what's found in that footnote. The person, they can be actively or constructively present. Constructively present when he is close enough to the scene to render assistance to the perpetrator, standing by to help the perpetrator. The other language, I think, adds to the...
It reminds the jury of the legal concept of acting in concert. It reminds the jury of the legal concept of acting in concert. All right. Ask the jury to come in, please. Mr. Mock, you're the foreperson, is that correct? Okay. You've asked me the following: what is the definition of the phrase, each is present in the theory of acting in concert? Do both persons have to be present or witness the murder, or is it enough for the defendant to be in the same apartment? Let me just say this to you, that as I have instructed you, under the legal theory of acting in concert, under that legal theory, for a person to be guilty of a crime, it's not necessary that she herself personally do all the acts necessary to constitute the crime. If two persons act together, acting in concert requires that two persons act together with a common purpose to commit the crime, in this case, crime of first degree murder, or failing that, second degree murder. And each is present at the time the crime is committed, then each of them is held responsible for the acts committed by the other done in the commission of that crime. You've asked me what it means to be each is present. Under the law of this state, to be guilty by acting in concert, all perpetrators must be actually or constructively present. A person is constructively present when he or she is close enough to the scene to render assistance to the other perpetrator to carry out the crime. I remind you that each of them must be actively assisting the other to cause the crime to occur. So constructive presence is sufficient under the law, so long as one is close enough to where a murder is occurring to render assistance to the other perpetrator, as each of them actively participate in causing the crime to occur. Can't do any better than that, I don't think. I mean, that's about as far as I can go. All right. Let me know when you're ready to stop. Okay.
I think we're going to adjourn at this time.
Okay. All right. Then let me have. Mr. Mark, can you go back and collect all of y'all's notes? I tell you what, you got a box? You got a box? Okay. Will you go back and just put everything in a box? We'll seal the box. We'll get it to the clerk, seal the box. So everything that you got back there, whatever writings there are, whatever you're doing back there, will be sealed, and we'll put the notes. Sheriff? Yeah. No, she's not going to do it. She's going to come around here. You're going to do it. She's not going in that jury room. Okay. If you go collect everything and just put it in the box, and then tomorrow y'all can sort through it and get your notes back out of there. Thank you, sir. We'll have the clerk seal that and re-deliver it to you in the morning when you come in. Stop thinking about it now. Stop deliberating among yourselves, and we'll start at 9:30 in the morning. If a couple of you get here early, don't talk about the case. You can't talk about the case until all 12 jurors are present. So if you happen to have a break or something like that, and a couple of you together, you can't talk about it. You can only talk about it in the presence of all 12 jurors, and only after you come in the morning, we've declared that you're here for the record, and then we let you retire and resume your deliberations. Okay, thank you very much. If you have additional questions, additional requests, just let me know and write them out just like you're doing, and we'll address them as we can. Have a good evening, and we'll see everybody at 9:30 in the morning. Thank you.